What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review, and this time we're taking a look at The Return of Jafar, sequel to Aladdin. Make this review short and sweet. Overall, I think Return of the Jafar is an okay sequel and a okay follow up to the first Aladdin movie. This movie doesn't really have a whole lot to offer as a sequel or as an Aladdin movie, but for what it is, it's okay. It's got some positives to it. It's got a lot of negatives to it. The overall positives, the voice cast this movie, they all do a good job. Scott Winger, who voiced Aladdin in the first movie, he comes back for this. He's fine. Linda Larkin, who was Jasmine, she's fine too. Jonathan Freeman returns as Jafar, and as he was in the first movie, he is fantastic as always. That snarky, slime yet cool charisma he brought to Jafar, it works in this movie too. And this movie pretty much has the best song in the entire movie, which is Second Rate, where Jafar is pretty much bashing the genie, who this time is voiced by Dan Castellaneta, as Robert Williams did not return to reprise the role of the genie. And Dan Castellaneta as the genie, he's okay. He's not horrible, he's just okay. When you're taking over a role that was done by Robin Williams and you're coming in as replacement, you're going to have a lot of shoes to fill in. Dan Castellaneta, I love him in The Simpsons as Homer and all the other characters, but as the genie, it doesn't work. It does not fit. His voice just does not fit the character. Genie is very wild and bombastic, and Dan Castellaneta's voice acting for the genie is not so much. Not so much at all. Now, is that a knock on Castellaneta as a talent? No, because he does the best with the situation that was given, and he does the best with what he has to work with, and he did an okay, admirable job. And that's the best I can say about Dan Castellaneta as the genie. Guilford Godfrey comes back to voice Iago, and as he was in the first Aladdin movie, he's fine as Iago. Iago in this movie has a lot of screen time because the story revolves around Iago as he goes from being Jafar's right hand man to kind of being a good guy and joining up with Aladdin and his friends. And the story pretty much focuses on Iago's transition from villain to hero, which which is paid off when he's the one who does the killing blow to Jafar and kind of saves the day in a way. So, in terms of handling Iago's, turn from good to evil, I mean, from vice versa, from evil to good, it's done in an admirable job. It's okay for what it was. And Gilbert Godfrey as Iago, he's just as good as he was in Aladdin. I still love the chemistry with him and Jonathan Freeman. Iago and Jafar are fantastic. They were great in Aladdin as as um, as allies, and now that they're rivals in this movie, it's just as fun too. You also have Jason Alexander, who's in this movie as this character called Abismal, who kind of becomes Jafar's new right hand man. And Jason Alexander, he's funny. I've always liked Jason Alexander, and I like him in this movie, though his character is nothing to be desired over. He's just a common thief, pretty way, in a way. And yeah, that's all with that. The stuff with Aladdin in this movie, it's nothing spectacular. Aladdin's whole story in this movie is trying to convince the Sultan and Jasmine that Iago was one of the good guys, and he doesn't really do much in this movie. Aladdin, in his own movie, kind of an afterthought. Jasmine barely does anything in this movie. She is completely wasted, doesn't do a damn thing. This movie focuses mostly on Iago and Jafar, as they're pretty much the stars of the show. And while the good guys are kept, kind of feels like they're largely in the background. They don't really get a whole lot to do. Jafar's plan, if you will, is really convoluted. It's very convoluted and very elaborate, and it is what it is. Um, then the stuff with Iago, like I said, it's handled fine, but it takes up a lot of the movie, and it kind of like, and the movie kind of forgets about that it has other characters too. You have Aladdin, you have Jasmine. You know, their relationship from the first movie doesn't really grow or go anywhere in this movie. To be honest with you, nothing really happens with them as a relationship, and they barely. And to me, it seems like Aladdin and Jasmine barely have any screen time together, which is a shame because one of the best parts of the first movie was the romance between Jasmine and Aladdin. This one doesn't really blossom or go anywhere. You get one musical number where Jasmine finds out about Iago and she gets mad at Aladdin, and then you have Iago trying to make the peace with the genie. And that's pretty much it. Doesn't really go much from there. Doesn't really do nothing really happens from there. Speaking of the songs, none of the songs in this movie really stand out, with the exception of the Jafar song. You know, the Iago song is okay. The Genie song is all right. The love song in this movie is mediocre at best. It's not. It's not a whole new world good at all. Whole new world is such a better song. The song in this movie is just weak. Again, the best song in this movie is the Jafar villain song, Second Rate. That's the best. That's the best song in the whole movie, and to me, it's the best animated scene in the whole movie. In terms of animation quality, it's second rate at best. No pun intended. The animation in this movie is second rate. It's something you would see on a Disney animated TV show. It's very subpar. Not saying it's bad or by any chance, but it's definitely weak when comparing it to the glorious that was that first Latin movie. So yeah, overall, I'm gonna give Return of the Jafar a solid 6.5. It is nothing special. It's entertaining. It's not horrible. But at the end, but when you watch it, you're not gonna really remember it because it doesn't really leave anything to be desired. And 6.5 may seem like a high grade, but that mostly goes to Jonathan Freeman and Gilbert Gottfried's performances as Jafar and Iago. The handling of Iago's character was done fairly well. You know, seeing Jafar take up the bulk of the movie, it is good. Even though the climax is very, very weak and it feels like it lasts for 2 seconds, and our main characters don't know Jafar's back until you get to the last 20 minutes of this movie. So yeah, when comparing it to the first movie, it's a really weak movie in terms of story, in terms of it's everything about it. So yeah. But I'm still gonna give it a 6.5 because at the end of the day, I still enjoy it. I get fun out of it, and it's nostalgic for me because I used to own the VHS. So yeah, 6.5 for the Return of Jafar. Okay, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Do you like this movie? Do you hate this movie? I would like to know. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.